A team that wants to win the Premier League is relying and depending on own goals to win games against the worst team ever seen in the Premier League history. Like, come on, is this how Arsenal wants to win the Premier League? You must be joking. You must be kidding, guys. You must absolutely be kidding. Like, come on, just, 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 just think about this. Just think about this. Think about this, guys. Think about this. Yes, I know they literally won the game. They won. But think about this. Wolves were the only team that scored all three goals today. That shows how bad Arsenal is. That absolutely showed how bad Arsenal was as a team. Yes, they could celebrate that they are playing like champions. They could celebrate. But they didn't score a freaking goal today. Could literally even see that own goal is trending. Let's just enter this. Own goal is trending, guys. Arsenal literally depended on two own goals to beat the worst team ever in the Premier League history. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that so terrible, guys? We have to talk about this because a team that wants to win the Premier League can't rely on. They absolutely can't, and they shouldn't rely on own goals to win games. If it was probably against Spurs that did this, I wouldn't say anything. But it's against Wolves. Look at the Premier League table. Arsenal up there, of course, but scroll down. Wolves are literally 20th in the Premier League table with no wins at all and just two draws. And this is the team. Just look at it. Consecutively, they have lost they have lost, I think, 14 games already consecutively this season. 9 games consecutively this season. And you can't score a goal against them. You depended on own goal. Yes, you got the win. Yes, you are still top of the league. Yes, they are still top of the league by 5 points, although Man City have a game in hand. But still yet, you can't do that. You can't absolutely do that against Wolves. You can't. You can't. Well, we're going to talk about Gyokeres in a bit, but you can't, guys. A team that wants to win the Premier League shouldn't perform like that against Wolves. Even Piers Morgan said it. Like, what is happening to is this Arsenal team? But at this point, I want Arsenal to win the league because finishing consecutively second place consecutively is so bad. I support them to win the league, but at the same time, are they gonna win the league? Is it gonna is it gonna repeat itself? These are questions we should be asking. Because at this point, own goals, you relying on own goals is the worst thing ever that could happen to a club. Arteta couldn't believe his eyes. He absolutely couldn't believe his eyes. This were the same team Manchester United scored 4 goals against. This were the same team Man United scored 4 goals in games, guys. This were the same team Man United scored 4 goals against, and everyone was trolling Man United. This was the same team. This was the same thing, and everyone is saying, why were we celebrating that we scored 4 goals against Wolves? This were the same thing, guys. This were literally the same thing. Everyone was saying we shouldn't celebrate. They say we shouldn't celebrate because we scored 4 against Wolves, but Arsenal they are celebrating despite not scoring a single goal. They depended on Wolves all game. Wolves scored all 3 goals. Come on, come on. Arsenal, we have literally called them Arsenal FC, call them Corner FC. But this time around, the new name is Ongo FC. It's just so hilarious. But there's one particular man we have to talk about. There's absolutely one particular player we have to talk about. And he has been so bad for Arsenal. Absolutely been so bad for Arsenal. His name is Victor Gyokeres. I saw this and I'm like, come on, this is actually true. Victor Gyokeres have only scored 3 Premier League goals this season. And it was against 16 place Leeds, 17 place Forest, and 19 place Burnley. These are the only 3 teams that scored goals against. These are the only 3 teams, guys. Gyokeres should have scored some. He missed a lot of chances and should have been scoring goals, but guess what? He was busy flinking his hair. Arsenal fans are literally celebrating air flicks instead of goals for Victor Gyokeres. That literally shows how bad Gyokeres is. That literally shows how bad he has become at Arsenal. At this point, it's better to put in Merino up front than Gyokeres. This is fact. This is plain fact, guys. Gyokeres versus Wolves, just like the one shot, one foul, 50% accurate passes. This is a striker's level. Like he came as one of the best strikers in the league. Let's be sincere. He came like as one of the best strikers in the league. But him flopping right now is absolutely bullshit. Is it's bullshit, guys. What happened to him? What happened to his glory? You see, are we going to blame him or blame Arsenal or blame the team? Who are we going to blame at this moment? For me, I think Merino up front is much better than Yuko at this moment. I'm not saying Merino is a better striker, but at this moment, he's a better option than Gyökeres in that up front because Gyökeres literally ghosted today. But anyways, talking about the Premier League, Arsenal don't repeat what we all know would happen, which is always finishing second. At this point, Manchester City are favourite for me. Because after seeing that performance, Arsenal won, but it just felt like a loss to everyone. Come on, how would you depend on two own goals? They won, yes, they got all 3 points, but come on, Manchester City are the new favourite. Despite being second currently, right now, Manchester City are the favourite to win the league for me. So, guys, let me know your thoughts on the comment section. What you think about Arsenal winning 2-1 and they depended on own goal? They literally escaped. They escaped. But let me know your thoughts on the comment section, guys.